इष्टो विशिष्टः शिष्टेष्टः शिखण्डी नहुषो वृषः क्रोधहा क्रोधकृत् कर्ता विश्वबाहुर्महीधरः इष्टो विशिष्टः शिष्टेष्टः इष्टो विशिष्टः शिष्टेष्टः इष्टो विशिष्टः शिष्टेष्टः शिखण्डी नहुषो वृषः शिखण्डी नहुषो वृषः शिखण्डी नहुषो वृषः क्रोधहा क्रोधकृत् कर्ता क्रोधहा क्रोधकृत् कर्ता क्रोधहा क्रोधकृत् कर्ता विश्वबाहुर्महीधरः 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 इष्टो विशिष्टः शिष्टेष्टः शिखण्डी नहुषो वृषः क्रोधहा क्रोधकृत् कर्ता विश्वबाहुर्महीधरः. In this Shloka number 34, we have 10 names from 308 to 317. The 308th Nama is Ishtaha. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Ishtaya Namaha. Shankaracharya expresses his Anubhavam as Paramananda Atmakatvena Priya Ishtaha. Yajnena Pujita Itiva Ishtaha. Because Bhagavan is the one who is most desired and cherished. Also, Acharya attributes the value, the one who is most revered through worship or yajna. He is liked by all. This is because you don't have a choice but to like him. The entire Loka is his manifestation, and we have a natural liking towards the expressions of the manifestations. But beyond physical manifestation, if we look at the Sukshma layer, the manifestation of mind in each phase of life also stands as a wonder. The causal and unmanifested form, the Karana Sharir, as well, when realized or when materialized, when they manifest, we witness the beauty of creation and we are always awestruck, and the liking for it never ceases. Hence the name Ishtaha. One who is liked by all is so very appropriate. On the second part, as expressed by Acharya, there is a yajna called Dharmeshti Yajna. An offering is made to Lord Vishnu. Being the deity of the yajna, Lord Vishnu accepts all that is offered, hence he is called Ishtaha. We can go even beyond. All that is offered in any form, when backed by true devotion, is accepted by Bhagavan. The example given is that of Kannappa Nayanar, a hunter who was a great Shiva Bhakt. He offered meat, and that too after tasting it, fills his mouth with water and does the abhishek with that. That is accepted with wholehearted gratefulness by Shiva. Another example is Shabari, offering the fruits she has tasted to Lord Rama. She is blessed with the knowledge on devotion. It's called as Navadha Bhaktihi. They are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, which is servitude, Sakhyam or friendship, Atma Nivedanam or surrendering oneself. Thus, Ishtaha refers to Bhagavan accepting that which is offered with true devotion. For meditation purposes, we take a derived meaning. Every offering we make to God is liked by Him so long as it is for Him and not with an expectation of something in return. When we have such unconditional devotion, whatever we offer is accepted by the God unconditionally. The most important thing is to offer oneself to God, the last of the 9 steps of bhakti, Atma Nivedanam. The 309th Nama is Vishishta, but there are traditions who use it as a Vishishta as well. So the Pushparchana mantra would be either Om Vishishtaya Namaha or Om Avishishtaya Namaha. This is because of the way the words are joined. The Ishto by Sandhi brings in an A matra. However, the Sandhi need not be given a significance, hence the two ways of interpretation of this Nama. There are three meanings for this Nama. One, he who is impartial to everyone, as Avishishtaha. Two, he who cannot be distinguished, as Avishishtaha again. And three, he who has no equal, as Vishishtaha. Impartial. He is one who does not distinguish between beings and treats all of them alike, like a mother towards her children. This is with respect to the karma phala. Just because one is a sinner, God does not give a different treatment, and just because one is a great bhakta, God does not manipulate the karma phala to give undue benefits. It is always just, keeping the overall order intact. As one who cannot be distinguished, we take the Anubhavam from Shankaracharya. He expresses it as Sarvesham Antaryamittvena Avishishtaha. Being the inner controller of all, the divine, he is non-differentiated, or he remains without any distinction. You cannot separate one class and look at God as something else. When we say Purnam, it is everything and beyond. Hence, he is not distinguishable. Distinguishable things naturally have a border distinguished by Kala Desa Vastu, as in time, space and property. Anything that has a border is not Purnam. Hence, he is Avishishtaha, one who is Purnam. As one who has no equal, making God unique, Bhagavan is Vishishtaha, as in God is special, concept that is above all of us. Now let us take a moment to recap the two expressions of this Nama. Vishishtaha, Lord is considered the Supreme Soul, distinct yet connected to all individual souls and the universe. The universe and souls are his body, but he remains transcendental. Vishishta refers to Lord being uniquely accessible to his devotees. Despite being supreme, he comes down to the level of his devotees as seen in his avatars like Krishna and Rama. Worshipping Vishishta emphasizes recognizing the Lord's unique and infinite qualities, encouraging the devotee to transcend, taking Bhagavan as the model of perfection. On the other hand, Avishishta underscores his transcendence beyond all distinctions or classifications. Avishishta points to Lord Vishnu's unconditional and absolute nature, beyond all forms, attributes and limitations. For meditation purposes, we take the value that Bhagavan is indistinguishable. Every time we distinguish, we fall within boundaries. To distinguish is required and unavoidable. Kshetra Paripalana can never be done when one sees all as one. Seeing all as one, seeing the Vishwarupa, is an elevated level, also called transcended. But Vyavahar or transaction is not possible, and as a Jiva, we have the duty to be transactionally bound with the Prakriti as well. As we transcend our Kshetra widens, at its peak, it only identifies Dharma and Adharma in the Kshetra. Thus, Kshetra Paripalana becomes Dharma Samsthapana at the transcended level. The 310th Nama is Shishteshta. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Shishteshtaya Namaha. As per the dictionary, Shishtaha means polite, remaining, left, gentleman, etc. This must not be confused with Shishyaha. Shishya is a student who is learning the path of righteousness, or for that matter, anything. But Shishtaha is the one who has matured in the path of righteousness. That is why we practice Shishtachar to lead the newly wed on the path of righteousness. Shankaracharya expresses his anubhavam as Shishtanam Vidusham Ishtaha Shishteshtaha, one who is desired or loved by the cultured and the wise. In another expression, Acharya says, Shishtaha Ishtaha Asya Itiva, one to whom the cultured and wise are dear as well. And thirdly, he says, Shishtaihi Ishtaha Pujitaha Itiva, one who is revered and worshipped by the devoted, cultured and the wise. Acharya quotes Bhagavad Gita. Here, Priyohi Jnaninotyartham is the way the quote goes. This comes as part of two shlokas, 7th chapter, 16th and 17th shloka. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritinorjuna arto jignasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarshava tesham jnani nityayuktah ekabhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnaninotyartham aham sacha mamah priyah. Jnani is priyaha to me and I am priyaha to him is the basic expression that aligns with this nama. For the purpose of meditation, it is the reinforcement in us that we should lead the way in the path of righteousness as we learn the Shastras. The nama inspires us to cultivate wisdom, virtue and discipline. These qualities bring one closer to the divine. Meditating on this nama, you become naturally conscious of your actions. The 311th nama is Shikhandi. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Shikhandine Namaha. Shikhandi means the one who wears a crest or crown, symbolizing supremacy, sovereignty and majesty. Lord Krishna is described in Srimad Bhagavat as having adorned the eye of peacock feather. Thus, this is a symbolic name for Krishna and thus to Vishnu as well. The peacock feather refers to effulgence, contextually brilliance. While a literal meaning is attributed to Krishna, the symbolic meaning is that he always expressed brilliance. From this point of view, we can say that one is a Shikhandi who expresses brilliance or effulgence at all times. Shankaracharya expresses his anubhavam as Shikhandaha kalapau alankaraha abhushanam asya iti shikhandi yataha japa upaveshadharaha. Japoveshadharaha is the way that it goes. I am breaking it into the right words. Japa upaveshadharaha. Kalapau means ornamental, clusters like feathers or jewels, a direct reference to Lord Krishna. Alternate version that Acharya provides is he assumes the seated posture for chanting, japam and meditation. That is the japa upaveshadharaha. Brilliance refers to shine in human, the aura that one expresses. So, the attributes of brilliant people is what we will focus for our meditation on this nama. They are Nothing comes across to you as a problem, but you provide solutions to situations. You are always helpful. In every opportunity, you will volunteer to help. Brilliant people do the work. Brilliance always shows up as generosity in you. What others may consider a risk, you will not hesitate as you are action driven. Brilliant people make others glow as well. In other words, you will drive the potential from others equally as it emanates from you. The 312th Nama is Nahusho. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Nahushaya Namaha. Shankaracharya expresses his anubhavam as Nahyati Bhutani Mayayato Nahushaha Naha Bandhane. He, the divine, binds all the beings through Maya, the illusion. Hence he is called Nahushaha. The root Naha signifies bondage. Value attributed to God is one who binds us all together. In literal sense, it is indisputable that this entire creation that we are aware of is bound together. This bondage happens at every level. Your body is bound together. Your thoughts are bound together. The society is bound together. The solar system is bound together. The galaxies are bound together, and so on. This is a great value for meditation as well. To know that you are bound together beyond what you have thought of yourself is the core value from this Nama. An alternate interpretation is that the Nama indicates a singular controller. By binding us together, he is able to control us. The 313th Nama is Vrusha. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Vrushaya Namaha. This term Vrusha is considered a very important one and comes with several namas. Sloka number 11, Visa Vrusha Kapihi. In Sloka number 12, Vrusha Karma and Vrusha Kritihi. In Sloka number 28, Visa Vrushahi, Vrushabaha, Vrushaparva and Vrushodaraha. In Sloka 63, we will see Vrushabhakshaha and Vrushapriyaha. And in Shloka 81, it will come as Tejo Vrushaha. Shankaracharya expresses his anubhavam as Kamanam Varshanad Vrushaha Dharmaha. He is called Vrushaha because he showers or fulfills the desires, Kamanam. Alternately, Vrusha means bull, which represents Dharma. And because Bhagavan is the Dharma Swarupam, he is called Vrushaha. Acharya also quotes from Mahabharata Shanti Parva. Vrusho hi Bhagavan Dharmaha smruto lokeshu Bharata naidantu kapadhakhyanai vidhimam vrushamuttamam. This is a conversation between Bhishma Pitama, Lord Krishna and King Yudhishthira. This shloka is spoken by Lord Krishna, who addresses King Yudhishthira as Bharata. Shanti Parva is the section which is like an Upadesha to King Yudhishthira, who becomes reluctant to take up the throne after witnessing such a huge loss of life in the war. The bull symbolizes Dharma, which supports and sustains the universe, much like a bull supports the plough and agricultural work. Lord Vishnu as Bhagavan embodies this Dharma, being its origin and upholder. The word is derived from the root Vrush, to drench or to shower. Based on this core, several meanings can be interpreted. He showers with whatever we seek truthfully to God. He showers compassion on all of us. He showers the gyan, the knowledge, to all of us who are getting burnt in the heat of samsara. He is the embodiment of righteousness, dharma, and then he is called Vrusha. The value for meditation is that he is willing to shower. It is the truthful seeking that we need to develop in us. The 314th Nama is Krodhahaa. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Krodhagne Namaha. There is a similar Nama that we will see in Sloka number 49, Jita Krodhaha. Ha herein refers to Harati, to destroy, or Hanti, to kill. Krodh refers to the anger. So there are two ways to attribute value on this Nama. One, as in one who has destroyed his own anger. And two, as in one who destroys the anger that emanates in us. Shankaracharya expresses the Anubhavam as Sadhunam Krodham Hanti Krodhaha. Bhagavan removes the anger of the virtuous. Hence, he is called the destroyer of the anger, Krodhaha. The next 8 names are associated to represent the incarnation of Parashuram. Let us learn a little bit about Parashuram. Parashuram is the 6th or 7th avatar of Lord Vishnu in the Dashavataram series. In traditions which uses Buddha as part of Dashavatar, he comes 6th. And for traditions which uses Hayagriva, he comes as the 7th. Pauranically, his incarnation came at a time when Kshatriyas started following adharma. Thus he was born as a Brahman and fought all the Kshatriyas and defeated them who failed to follow the path of dharma. He was also the teacher to Bhishma, Drona and Karna. He is considered one of the Chiranjeevis, one who lives forever and is believed to come back to teach Kalki at the end of this yuga. He was born to a Brahman sage by name Jamadagni and his Kshatriya wife Renuka. He was a great disciple of Shiva. He was actually the protector of the bow of Shiva which Rama breaks to marry Sita. His father had a cow by name Surabhi, considered the daughter of Kamadhenu and had the powers to grant all wishes. The greed to have all the wishes granted is depicted as the core to adharma. Thus, the Puranic stories around Parashuram gives an emphasis on the inappropriateness of anger and the value of overcoming the anger. Among the 10 avatars, he is the only avatar who appears in other avatars that follows Rama, Krishna, and is also considered to appear again in Kalki. There is still a place in today's Madhya Pradesh called Jamadagni Ashram, in which it is believed that Parashuram prayed towards Shiva. Returning back to explaining the Nama, Krodhahaa, one who destroys anger in all sincere seekers. We have already discussed earlier that anger manifests when fulfillment of deep desire is obstructed. On realizing the Lord, the desires end, and therefore anger is destroyed as well. Also, anger can come only when we recognize the world of plurality around us. For one who is experiencing the true self, there is nothing but the one self everywhere. Hence, the scope of an anger is not there at all. For meditation purposes, we put the value on bhakti or devotion. Devotion to God and realization of self are the cure against the anger that comes from us. There is another version where Bhagwan is shown the supreme control of his anger. This comes when Parashuram, after destroying 21 lineages of Kshatriyas, at the instance of one request, relinquishes his anger. Rama expresses both the ability to not get angry even when insulted during Swayamvara or fighting with ferociousness with Ravan, but being able to stop the fight and expressing compassion, asking Ravan to go and come back the following day. With respect to Krishna, when he meets Bhishma with rage and calms down instantly to bless him during the war. The 315th Nama is KrodhaKrut Kartaa. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om KrodhaKrut Kartre Namaha. The root Karta comes as a Nama in Sloka number 41. Some traditions interpret this as two Namas, KrodhaKrut and Karta. But majority take it as a single Nama, and hence we are going to only look at it as a single Nama. Shankaracharya also establishes why this should be considered as a single Nama, giving Upanishadic quotes. We will also look into that. For the Nama, Shankaracharya expresses his Anubhavam as Asadhushu Krodham Karoti iti KrodhaKrut. Bhagavan creates or induces the anger in the unrighteous. Hence he is called KrodhaKrut, the one who causes or induces anger. The value attributed is that Bhagavan gives anger as the self-destructive medicine in asadhus, as in those who are not intelligent or those who are not on the path of righteousness. So, where there is adharma, there is krodham that gets generated, and one who generates the anger is God. For meditation purposes, we stick to the value that krodham is generated in us when we encounter adharma. We should be like Rama, who can use the anger to understand the existence of adharma and develop the ability in us to identify where the adharma is, be it in us or others, and correct it with compassion. The problem is when krodham becomes an acid which burns our own self. We should learn to handle the krodham like how we handle our children and prevent it from burning ourselves. Shankaracharya further establishes that this can only be a single nama with quotes from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and references from Kausitaki Upanishad. The mantra emphasizes that the doer is always the Chaitanya Amsham of Parabrahma. This joins the Karta with KrodhaKrut emanating as an action from the same Chaitanya Amsham. The mantra in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which Acharya quotes, goes as Yo vai balaka yeshetam purushanam karta yasya vai tat karma sa veditavya. This mantra comes in the third chapter, as in the third Mundakam, and is part of question and answer between King Janaka and sage Yajnavalkya. The sage declares, O Balaka, not Balaka. Balaka is a child. Balaka is a respectful form of addressing a seeker. The one who is truly the doer of actions among these things, whose actions these are, that one is to be known. This is further clarified in Kausitaki Upanishad. Herein the dialogue is between Indra and King Pratardhana. For a boon, the king asks for knowledge, and in that discourse, Indra declares, Aham vai prana eva prajnanam atma, pranascha prajnane taraha. Yesha hi drashta, shrota, grata, rasayita, Vakta, Manta, Karta, Vijnana Atma. Purushaha Saparena Nakena Pratishtitaha. I am indeed the prana, the life force, and the conscious self, the prajnana Atman. Prana and consciousness are distinct yet inseparable. This self, Atman, is the seer, hearer, smeller, taster, speaker, thinker, and the doer. It is the intelligent self, that cosmic being, the Purushaha, who is firmly established beyond the highest heaven. Based on these mantras from Upanishad, Acharya concludes, Krodhakrutam Daityadinam Kartaa Chedaka iti ekam va nama. Given the context that Karta is always the divine, KrodhaKrut Karta should be considered as a single nama and not as two names. The 316th nama is Vishva Bahuhu. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Vishva Bahave Namaha. There are three ways this nama can be interpreted. One, for whom this world is his arms. One who is behind each arm in this world. One who has arms for delivering the goodness for the world. Karma Bhumi is what we call this Sloka to be, a place where we are driven by action. All such actions are the actions of God, and hence he is called Vishva Bahuhu. The arm by itself is incapable of doing anything. It does only when Atma is behind it. In this context, the second meaning is derived, as in one who is behind the function of each arm. Shankaracharya expresses his anubhavam as Vishvesham alambanattvena Vishve Bahavaha Asya iti. Vishvataha Bahavaha Asya iti va. Vishvabahu. By being the support and the foundation of all, he is called Vishvabahu. His arms extend to all the beings. Alternately, he is called Vishvabahu because his arms are extended in all directions, as in he pervades everything. Reference to this is taken from Shvetashvatara Upanishad. The mantra goes like this: Vishvato Mukho Vishvato Bahuhu Antaryami Vishvato Pada Padaha. This mantra describes the Supreme God's universal form and its attributes as the creator, sustainer, regulator, and inner controller of all beings. For the meditation purposes, we need to put the value in our thoughts that the actions that we perform is not something that we perform, but something that we perform as an instrument of the God. We have the responsibility to perform the act of God for the goodness. The act of God is always dharma, and our path must always be the path of dharma as well. The 317th nama is Maheedhara. For the purpose of Pushparchana, we say Om Maheedharaya Namaha. This nama will occur again in Sloka number 40. As per dictionary, the word Mahi means great, kind of meter, base of a triangle, space, heaven and earth, streams, etc. Maheedhara means earth bearing, supporting the earth, a mountain, etc. One of the meanings of support is like how a gold supports the ornament, or how a cotton supports a cloth, or how water supports the ocean. You will see that everything that you see is only a name and a form. The base, which is the existence or sad, is the true support. When you apply this rule in terms of Advaita, everything falls in place, including the most argued Satyasya Satyam. The causal concept of every nama and a form that you experience is God. Thus, he is Maheedhara because he is the causal concept that sustains the world as a base. Shankaracharya gives his Anubhavam as Mahim Pujam Dharanim Va Dharati iti Maheedharaha. The one who upholds or supports the earth, Mahi, or honors and worships the earth is called Maheedharaha. The value attribution of one who supports the earth can easily be construed. The concept behind one who honors or worships the earth is a great concept that Acharya introduces here. Earth, as we have seen earlier, is the consort of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, as the sustainer of the universe, is deeply connected with Prakriti, as he maintains the balance of the cosmos, including the earth. By honoring Bhudevi, Lord Vishnu emphasizes the sacredness of the earth and its role in sustaining life. This is an important aspect of leading by example. If Mother Earth is even worshipped by Lord Vishnu, we will worship it too. This will prevent it from reducing the tendency to exploit the Mother Earth. Taking Mahim in the context of puja or worship, the alternate Anubhavam expressed by some is that Bhagavan is the Maheedhar because he accepts the offerings made in puja, havan, karma yoga, etc. from his devotees. A third interpretation is that Bhagavan supported the world as Varaga avatar when he recovered the entire world from under the ocean. This is the Puranic interpretation given to this nama. For the purpose of meditation, we contemplate on the value that it is from Brahman that everything has emerged, and it is the Brahman of whom everything is made of. Everything that I experience has Brahman, but through them, as in by progressively analyzing the objects, one cannot reach Brahman. Instead, I look at the God as the one who is the base from which everything has come into existence.